All right. It is Sunday again. We're playing Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. And, yes. Whoops, sorry. Let me just move this microphone slightly. Better. Yes, we're playing... What's going on here? Give me a moment. Alright, let's try that again, hopefully without the crackling sounds. Hello everyone. It's Sunday, we're playing Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. We're being Billy Lurk, I guess. Interesting, though. I could have sworn that our left hand was the one that became weird, and on this screen it's still a real arm. But still, I hope you've had a good week so far. I've had a fun week because I took the week off, or rather I've taken the rest of the year off. Enjoying the downtime. And yeah, and so I did a bunch of retro streams during the weekdays. There were some new clips today. Good, yes, I'm not sure if there were... Yeah, I mean, some of the newer ones I put in did show. That was nice. Well, we'll see during the break whether it will use the same order of clips again, or if it will reshuffle them a little bit. Yeah, so Death of the Outsider. I guess the opening screen reflects our story progress a little bit now, because this is Dowd, who we just freed, and this is, of course, Billy, who we're playing as. And in retrospect, I'm a little bit sad. You may remember, like, in the starting screen and on this screen, I always have a little sketch. And these, I thought, oh, it's fine. I have a Dishonored sketch of Emily, and I've used that for Dishonored 1 as well. And now, in retrospect, I think I should have drawn a new one, you know? It's a bit sad to only have Emily and not have Billy, for instance. I mean, for the DLC, I don't think I would have done another one for Dowd. But, you know, maybe I would have done one of Corvo. But I guess Emily will be the face of the franchise for us. Works, I guess. You would have enough vacation days left to take this week off, but you're not done yet with a larger task. Aw. Well, don't forget to take your vacation, because it's always nice and important to relax occasionally. Like, I noticed, like, the last couple days, it was really, or rather the last I guess about 2 weeks before the vacation. I really hadn't taken a vacation in too long. And it became really hard to just get the hours in every day. So yeah, that wasn't too much fun. Follow the ink. Dowd is determined to kill the outsider himself, and he needs your help to do so. Yes. So, yeah. So what did we do? Well, we found Dowd, our teacher, basically. This frame rate isn't quite good. Feels a little jerky. Worked fine the last time. Maybe I should take a second and play with the graphics settings. I mean, I'm a big anti-aliasing fan, but I think that's something that... Oh, we don't need bloom. We don't need... What did it do to my settings? Lens flare and light shafts, I mean, they're okay. Let's see if these settings do anything. And maybe turn the water down. This is not Sea of Thieves, we shouldn't see that much water. Let's see how that does. I'm kind of reluctant to turn the other settings down because it looks so nice. Yeah, that feels better, I think. Still a little bit weird. Alright. Meepsy me me me. Hello, how's it going? Our HR even says take 14 days in a row at least once per year. Ah, that's an interesting suggestion, yeah. Alright, let's... I don't know what's happened to the performance here. I mean, I am playing at a fairly high resolution. Let's see, I think... Let's try this and hope that that kind of... Well, I guess this will have to do for now. It still feels not quite smooth, but maybe I'm just imagining things. Alright, whoops. What has happened so far? Well, we've, yeah, so we were looking for Dowd and we found him here, and he taught us that it's time to kill the outsider, and so now we're going to help him. And, maybe we should just... let's see, I think the journal will probably... Yeah, in his quest to kill the outsider, Dowd has learned of a special twin-bladed knife that is being held somewhere in Upper Syria. Find out who the eyeless leaders are and where they're keeping that knife. So that's where we're going. We're going to see the people of the gang called the Eyeless, about their leaders and about a knife.
Those tattoos the Eyeless get all come from the Red Camellia. I need to take a look at their client list.
Okay, we've already read that one. And this is a tattoo that the Eyeless apparently all have, which is probably some sort of outsider-related thing. Have we read this again? Yeah. So I guess...
That's not possible. My arm, my eye. It's just like the dreams.
So yeah, we lost our arm and our eye and gained some superpowers instead. Not that we asked for them. No, that's no money, that's just a rivet or something. So let's walk up here. Give me just a second, I want to check if there's anything running that doesn't have to be running. Because this still feels performance-wise a little weird. I think that made any difference. I might actually... I'm tempted to just set the settings back up. Just because it made almost no difference. Let's go up here and maybe we're fine. It's interesting that we can just take public transport to wherever we want. I wonder if anyone has done studies. Double-bladed knife. Is that like where the handle is also a blade? But no, that would make them fingerless, not eyeless. It's a fun thought, yeah. Double-bladed knife. The handle is a knife, too. I wonder if anyone has done studies about the ubiquity of public transport in computer games. Because, you know, it totally, from a game design standpoint, it makes so much sense. Okay, and now we see it. Our weird hand was actually the right hand, so I misremembered that. So anyway, from a game design standpoint, it totally makes sense that you would be using some sort of, you know, train or something to get from place A to B, because for one thing, you know, a train can be just a canned animation. it doesn't have to be a game mechanic. So it's easier to add to games without adding a whole other system. So as an example, you know, like in Myst, the roller coasters between the islands, that was basically just a cutscene. Yeah, much more energy efficient for the player to use the same transport as the NPCs. Yeah. If by, like, energy efficient you mean... I mean, you know, NPCs could be driving cars as well. I'm not quite sure what you mean by energy efficient. If you mean, like, development time, energy put into developing parts of the game, then yeah. And also, of course, you know, trains run on rails, so there are only certain places... Oh, that was supposed to be a joke. Sorry, I didn't... I'm not quite awake enough, I guess. Yeah, good. It's much more environmentally friendly, you're right, yeah. Alright, so, yeah, but also it means, you know, players, you don't have to cope with players just turning down that side alley and you having to model like an entire city for them to drive through and, you know, make it interesting in some way, or find random reasons why they can't turn down this street. And then with the train, you don't have that problem. The train goes wherever the rails go. There are probably train stops, so you have a map or something, and you can select those bunch of distinct locations. And if the train is the only connection between them, then basically, you know, you have those little islands that you want in a game, where, you know, you have to repair something for the train to actually be able to go to the next island, or, you know, like get a permit to actually be allowed on the train in that direction or something. It has so many advantages for gameplay. Also, like here, you can just make it a generic one stop and it goes to whatever is the next place you need for the mission. And you just have this basically cutscene of it driving out of the station, and you don't really have to make anything in between, and, you know, you can use it kind of to load the model, because now we're in a tunnel, so they can unload the previous map already. And so this black load screen would be a little shorter. I mean, I've talked about loading tunnels as a concept, not even as physical tunnels, a lot, like, you know, the Mass Effect elevators and things like that. I think cuts are wildly underused in games. Travel doesn't even have to be a thing. No cutscene, no on-rail sequence past scenery, just cut. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, for a cinematic experience, just having a cut, you know, or like a wipe or something, totally makes sense. But I think in most games the problem is the loading times, because as soon as you drop the player off in the new level, they expect to be able to walk. So if you do a crossfade, what you have to do is wherever the player was when they triggered the level transition, you have to unload the level around them without them noticing and load the new one. Already enough of the new one to be able to, you know, render whatever the player is seeing as they arrive. So you can do the wipe or the cut, you know, you can switch to the new picture. You can't draw the new picture if you haven't loaded it. So I totally understand, like, why technically games do not do cuts much. Like, there are some games that do cuts, and usually what they do is a very cheap trick. And that is they duplicate the area, the destination room, basically, and the origin room for a trip from one place to the next, in both levels. And so if you basically, once you enter the room from which you are about to leave, they already start unloading the current level and loading the new level. And at some point, you just don't notice it because your orientation and everything is the same, and the room is the same. And so at some point, you're already on the new map before you've even pressed the button to go to the new map. But of course, if the player then turns around and remembers, oh, I forgot something on the boat, for example, here, then you would have to unload that again. But since they know that you're usually on your way to the next level and that you won't turn around, they often just say, okay, if you go the way that most people will go, 90% of the people, then this will be a smooth cut. And if you do the unexpected of turning back around, then there will just be a short moment where it will be shuddering and loading. I listened to a streamer in that chat, and they were disagreeing on whether a certain load screen could be skipped. And the assumption was that people with SSDs could skip it, and with hard disks had to stare at a boring picture. Could be improved. I mean, that can make a difference, definitely. And I mean, that's what some games do. Like, in most games, the loading screens are just there as long as you're actually loading. And so what many games do is they, for example, fade to black. And then if by the end of the fade to black, the new level hasn't loaded yet, for example, because it's an SSD, then they can, then they show the load screen. So they fade from black to the load screen and wait and it takes a moment for it to load. And so some people will just see fade to black, fade back to the new room. Yeah, loading is a problem, mostly caused by increased push towards ever higher texel and polygon densities on screen, and tons of complexity in asset pipelines. But still, loading times are usually far short of sustained in-out rates. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how much is really just getting the stuff from disk, and how much is, work they do just to, display stuff and to get, new textures on the graphics card and old textures unloaded, basically. I just know that these are all concerns. But, like, if someone asks me, is it possible to do without? I don't know. It could be possible, it could not be. It also, of course, depends on what computers or machines you expect your players to have. Like I think it's the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, what is it called, the new one, Series X? Series X, 1X, 1 Pro, Super? I don't know. The Microsoft names always tend to just accumulate new words. Anyway, so those two consoles kind of advertised, I think, or at least one of them did, and I don't quite remember which one. They advertised that they had especially fast SSDs, and basically advertised that you wouldn't see any load screens anymore in games you play. So I think we're getting there, and SSDs seem to be a part of it. But it's still a lot of work, and of course, as a game developer, you're kind of going like, is it that bad if there is a crossfade and maybe a short loading screen? Or would it be, would that really be so bad if it means we could spend the 2 weeks we would spend on faster loading on, just making that other mission that they're playing better? And I think that's usually where the loading times and load screens trade-off ends up being. They're going, these load screens are short enough, now focus on the part that the people will actually talk about after playing the game. Rage was pioneering continuous streaming texture loading how many years ago now? And that was before SSDs were common, yeah. I've watched videos about how Rockstar developed all kinds of techniques to have no loading for GTA. Hi, Grizzleby. Yeah, that's definitely lots more shiny areas to spend time on, yeah. I mean, and that's, you see, it's possible where developers think it's necessary. Like in multiplayer games, for instance, where, you are running through an area together with all the other players. It's much more common to have one large continuous map these days. Just because you don't know where your friends will be going. And so if they turn left, and you turn right into a load screen, and then you realize you turned the wrong way and you want to turn back left again, that like you've been severed from your team, basically. So of course, having little islands and kind of just loading the island after the next one when you're moving towards it is a much more efficient approach, and it works. But then in single player games where you're following a story and where you are basically, I mean, in this game it would be unfair to say you're on train tracks, but still, in a case like, where you're compared to some more open world games, there it totally makes sense to say, hey, we can give you a lot more pretty stuff, and more detail, and instead have a load screen between missions. Are those tracks on the screen? Yes, those are train tracks. We're arriving here with public transport. We're economically friendly and conscientious. Also, if there were no load screens, we wouldn't have a convenient break in gameplay to have discussions like this. Exactly. Also, where would they put the great tips for me? Like scouting for bone charms. Bone charms are easy to detect when scouting the area with foresight. Or, if you displace on a living target, they will explode into pieces and you will be hurt. Oh, okay. Good to know. Semblance and wolfhounds. You can deceive humans with semblance, but wolfhounds aren't as easily fooled. They will recognize you by your scent. Hook mines. When thrown, hook mines will catch enemies in their range and pull them towards the mine. Using semblance to impersonate a specific target will open up a whole new set of opportunities. Good to know. Trains are fun. They make for good stories. Yeah. Yeah, I said that earlier that, like game development wise, it totally makes sense. And I would like to see a study about like how much more common trains are in games than they are in real life, particularly for games in, set in the US um, and made in the US. Probably more made in the US. I think when a game is set in the US, you don't have trains that often because, there is a real world that they're kind of trying to emulate. It'd be funny to put tip breaks in games and specifically say not a loading screen. Telefrag? Oh, you mean displace on a target is telefrag? Did you check the visual fix blog? Oh, I remember calling it up, but I don't think I actually got around to reading it. I think I got interrupted. I put it on my other computer, but I never actually went into actually reading it. Tip breaks? Like, look, dude, you're doing this all wrong. Sit down and listen to how we devs have intended it to be solved. Nothing is more fun than a heavy-handed narrator. Yeah, exactly. I hate it in, like the Sam and Max games or something when they kind of stand around and then go, why not solution to the puzzle here, or even, and even just, telling me, I need to find the rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle now. Instead of saying, like, I wonder if I can somehow get across this rope or something like that, things like that. I find those annoying. But on the other hand, like Portal or something, it's fun to have a narrator, or in what's it called, Stanley Parable or something. It's fun to have a narrator who comments on your gameplay and your skill. So I could see that working, like maybe, even add code for alternate solutions and go like, you managed to get to the goal, but you didn't actually hit the 3 points we intended you to use. You really made it unnecessarily hard on yourself or something like that, Maybe even, measure the time from start to goal. And then, if it's a completely different path and it took ages, just say, something like that would be a fun mechanic to have in some games. The visual fix blog is loaded in tab 827 in browser 3 of iOS device 5. Please wait. Yeah, basically that. Well, you're mad about bad hints. Those are just bad hints. Yeah. It's a good point that hints can be good or bad. Yeah, there's also, the funny hints that are bad, like in many games these days that have combat. One of the hints is that classic, like the secret to winning boss fights is to reduce the enemy's health points to 0 before they can reduce yours, or something like that, and then you go like, duh. A hint shouldn't ruin the puzzle. Yeah, definitely. Oh, you have almost as many browser tabs as me. Oh. All right, let's see. This looks like a nice place. Oops, what was that? Ah, contracts on black market. That was a bit of a strong special effect for showing this optional marker. I mean, it's hard to see, so I can kind of understand. Oh, that wasn't an effect, that was just like the wind somehow blowing stuff around, I guess. Okay, it looked like, you know, it was like the visual effect they used to show that this new mission objective had spawned in, and that would have been like way too strong. Also, this reminds me of BioShock Infinite, visually. Like the sharply dressed people over there, even musicians. Usually, you know, Dishonored is a lot of poor people and, you know, like dead or dying people. So we're basically back in the mining district, so that, I guess, explains that dust cloud here. Which makes no sense. Why would it be coming out like here? It's a bit weird. You actually thought it was BioShock till you looked at my tag. Yeah, BioShock had similar visuals, but richer, yeah. The way the camera and light bloom is very BioShock. Yeah, it's kind of... This level kind of seems to be intentionally kind of a richer, nicer area. At least this corner. Maybe the ugly parts come later. Jesus. Not even sure there's floor down there. I think they just put buildings in the air. That's a nice poster with this these stuck on paper sheets that kind of, you know, stick out of the billboard. Overcast day, Sky City. Yeah. It really feels like Sky City. Let's see, where do we have... This is our teleport ability, right? We could go down there. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. But you know what? I want to know if we can walk around down there. This seems like it's still the map. Oh, this place? Okay. So I guess that's just decoration? Did I not recognize the way this is supposed to go? Like, is my character kind of jerking around like that supposed to be an indicator of you can't see that? So I definitely can't go in the distance. So I think the map... Yeah, the map seems to pretty much end there. You can't stay... You think you're... what you're thinking will happen while you're asleep. So, okay, thanks for coming by. And I guess you can have a peek in the VOD and let me know if there's anything I missed that you wanted to see. Or something. This game series feels a lot like I might go back to it in a few years just to, you know, try something else. Please copy paste this text somewhere. When you get the skiff back, put the text through R13. Okay, I can do that. Oh, no, I can actually copy the message. Good. At least that the bot lets me do. Let's get ourselves a notepad. All right, thank you for the tip, and have a good night. And I guess we'll be strolling around here. Whoops. Displace. Displace allows you to deploy a marker by holding the right button and then swap positions with it by pressing the right button again. Displace requires unobstructed line of sight, and you must be within range of your marker. You can swap through fences and glass windows, but you can't deploy a marker through them. If you displace on another character's position, he will explode in pieces, but you will be hurt in the process. So basically, they don't want us to use this to kill enemies by popping into them and back out. Okay, pistol ammo were basically full. We'll check out the VOD in the morning. Okay. See you next time, I guess. Can I... No, I don't actually have a... Can I get over there? No, I can get over here, I guess.
Wasted someone else's time. What is it to you? A feast or a famine? In school, I took from the sight a fire which is rude. What is it to you?
Are you coming tonight?
What do you say to some unusual gossip over dinner? Marvelous. I'm game if you are. The walls of Dunwall, did they help her at home? For I believe they were good.
I wonder if we'll get subtitles if we get closer.
Rent another boat sometime. I've half a mind to organize another thing. That's a horrid idea.
Okay, I think I'll get back to these people. It's kind of nice. I'm not yet used to being able to just quickly use the abilities because you don't have mana potion anymore. Oh, they're looking for me. Okay. So they're not expecting us to get through here, I guess. I don't think... Yeah, they don't let us... Oh. I could go on top of this one, though. And then go back down again. That's good to know. It's always nice. I almost dropped down there.
Just the West was in the South, a conspiracy plan. She trusted her allies, played into their hands. A coup, what is it to you? What is it to you? A feast or a famine?
It's kind of nice to have someone who's played the game before with you. to give you like subtle hints.
Playing dice tonight. You in?
Waste someone else's time.
Oh. Oh, that's the red camellia. Okay.
A mystical woman, Delilah she's called, claim rights to the throne, and the Duke she enthralled. Some called it magic, and some called it fate. Did she do it for love? Did she do it for hate? Now I'm just opposing.
I'll get the cigars tomorrow. You wanna buy one?
Shh, I want to hear the song.
Rules us now, and we know when we do. So let's raise a glass to our Duke and the coup. A coup, a coup. What is it to you? A feast or a famine, a narrow screw. A Duke from the south, a vile witch's brew. A coup, a coup. What is it to you?
Okay, so I guess they're singing about what Delilah did. So the coup is not yet over. How do you always, in 3 different games, end up being the person on wanted posters? Yeah, I like the music style. It's just exotic enough, yet pop music-y enough.
They say she worked hard to impress, but each week they passed, and in success.
They
To you, a feast or a famine, a narrow screw. A Duke from the south, a vile witch's brew. A coup.
Who is speaking about bone charms? Foresight is used to scout the surroundings and to mark characters or objects by pressing F. They will stay visible through walls for tracking. Time is stopped while using Foresight, and bone charms and other key objects are highlighted. Press space to move up or C to move down. Move up, move down. Where? You can also deploy a displace marker while using Foresight in order to swap positions with it afterwards. Oh. While we're out of body. No, I get it. Bone charms glow brightly while using Foresight, making them much easier to detect. And here we can do the rat walk, basically. With Foresight activated, time is stopped and your energy is drained. You can also mark characters or objects that will stay visible through walls for tracking. Ah. So the thing is, we can use Foresight to use, for example, a red tunnel, of course, and then place a displace marker, and that's how we basically do the red walk. Okay, that makes sense. And which one is Foresight? Is this one, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see how this marking works. Oh, okay, yeah. They stay as blurry thingamajigs. Can't get up there, but I guess I can get up there. Semblance. Press right mouse button when close to a human target to steal someone's identity, leaving them unconscious and fooling their allies. You can use semblance only on living humans, conscious or not. When you impersonate someone, your energy is drained while you are moving. Using semblance to impersonate specific characters will open some doors for you, but you will be detected if they notice you after spotting the original target's body. As long as they are alive and have not been impersonated before. When impersonating someone, your energy is drained as long as you are moving. Afterwards, you will fool people and be able to pass as your chosen target. If someone sees you after spotting the original stolen body, you will be detected. You can assassinate or take down characters as long as no one sees you doing so. Oh, I didn't catch that last line because I was so fascinated by how this looked. Oh! This poster is weird.
I told her, if you want my advice, just pay the fine and be done with it. No use making trouble.
How hard can it be to clean a few things? Honestly, why do I pay for a house full of servants when they don't do anything?
He's made a dog's breakfast out of the whole thing. And who's got to clean it up? Me, of course, as always.
No one asked if we wanted it.
What? Okay, that seems kind of weird. I guess this poster is flashing because it was a decision in the previous game. And now we're kind of halfway between each decision that was possible in the previous game. I guess that's one way not to have to do two versions of the game, is by putting you into kind of an in-between state. Cool music. Yeah, are there just different timelines? I guess so. I mean, we've had in Dishonored 2, we've had that mansion where we were able to jump back and forward in time. And when we made decisions, changes in the past, it actually had an effect on the present. And my guess is we'll have the same here. Well, not like that mechanic, but like, I guess that's part of the world now. And I guess they didn't want to have to account for all of our decisions. So they, by putting us in an in-between state, they can kind of say, you know, they can choose what applies for which puzzle. Or can even make it part of the puzzle. Like, you have to, you know, stabilize one of the timelines for a moment, maybe. I don't know what they'll do. But that would be like a possible puzzle that we would have to find some way to either, you know, sneak in just in the moment when that one timeline occurs, like these flashes here. You know, something like that. Okay, so we are down here. Calibron Plaza is one. That's way up there. Red Camellia Beauty Parlor is number 2. That's what we saw across the street. So we arrived at 6. And then I jumped over to that orange platform for a moment. And so that's where 2 the Camellia is. Cienfuegos Pharmacy is 3. 4 is Dolores Michaels Bank, which we've seen ads for previously. And 5 is Christopher Jorge's, I don't know, office. Okay, whoops. Does the gray thing say anything different? Come on, pop it up in gray. It doesn't work. My guess is it isn't. They wouldn't make it take that long if there was something to read. Okay, yeah, and it's only a short flash, I guess. Of course, the tutorial kind of gave away the next puzzle, I guess. If we want to get through there.
I might look different, but they'll still recognize me from the posters. Best avoid them if I can.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I can go in here. Could even interfere with the postal system and commit a federal crime. Wait. Jellied eels. I think my health was fine. I think the mouse is weird. Feels as if all the settings have kind of changed. Come on. Mouse and keyboard sensitivity. So do I switch this down to make it more sensitive? The problem is always like, what value is sensitivity? No, I think that's less. It's always, you know, is it bigger number means more sensitive to small movements, and thus if I make a big movement it will be really fast? Or like in this case where it seems to be where it seems to be more seems to be more like how many pixels will it move?
Exhausted. It's just been one gala after another, and the season's just getting started.
Nobody up here, I think. Stand guard near carriage station. I wonder how many of these paintings are basically concept art. I see nobody. There's someone. Oh, I could probably use the ability. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ability number 7. Whoops. Wrong button. Let's wait for it to recharge. Then go back in. Place a marker. Okay. Now I should be able to displace behind you. And I hope I won't make you go splat because I'm too close. Eolina Ray. Oh, that's a named character. She's very tattooed. Okay. Deadly raid at the Albarca. We've already read that. Our secret knock. Beloved Eolina, my servants tell me that you came by earlier when I was composing, and they refused to open the door. Apologies from the depths of my heart. I'd given dire threats that I was not to be disturbed for anyone, the admiring throngs who gather outside my home. Lewd? The sounds that lady made, or what? The admiring throngs who gather outside my home have become burdensome recently, crying for autographs and interviews until I can hardly hear myself think, much less create. But of course I don't want to shut you out of my home with the masses. From now on, when you visit me, knock on my door 6 times with a break on the 3rd knock. My servants will know it's your personal signal and will have strict instructions to admit you right away. I hope you will come to me soon, my love. Sean.
A secret knock? Really?
A secret knock? Really? So I think this Sean person... Okay, I guess she's...
That silver pipe he was smoking the other night, it made him tremendously more attractive.
So I guess she's a fashion designer? I wonder if we could have just talked to her. I guess now we'll never know. We could eat her dinner as well. have at least, you know, done the dishes when we come visiting.
Talk with the cook. That did not taste anything like pigeon. It's beyond embarrassing. I won't be able to have another dinner party for at least a month.
He seems to have a lot to do if he's painting the side of the building with that tiny brush. Also, if he keeps painting the same spot over and over, of course. Okay, now let's see if we can get on those lamps, just because... Nope.
No.
Huh.
Oh, well. Yes, well. I know. Oh my, oh. It's awful. Really? Oh, yeah. You didn't pay me that if I pay me.
I don't like that mumbling. It sounds horrific. I don't know why. What's up here? What's an electric cabinet, anyway?
Residents of Upper Syria District are urged to maintain orderly and well-appointed facades to their homes and shops, and to report any vagrant, beggar, or vandal in the area to the Grand Guard for removal. The commerce and cleanliness of our district is dependent on your participation and your diligence.
The fun part is this is not a parody. This is sort of almost, you know, I guess it is a parody because it just does a tick more, but there are so many areas in cities where for example, homeless people are basically sent away for loitering. You know, and there's like the city I come from actually had an area where homeless people would hang out, and every time the cops came by, they would pick up those people in the city center and send them to a park on the outskirts of town, basically, and just drop them off there. So they're not really helping, they just don't want the tourists to see them. And so, reporting vagrants is really not that big a step. Is that the doctor's office? Oh, right, and there was the black market somewhere downstairs. We really shouldn't forget that. Stopping off at the Spectre Club. Ephraim, I'm going to the Spectre Club for a quick drink. It's that place the dock worker mentioned last week when I replaced the damaged teeth in his broken jaw. His description of the sanguine infusions sounds intriguing. My patient said they have unusual properties like causing euphoria and visions. I'll meet him at the club and try one, then head home. So make sure you lock up the office when you leave, Alberto. Alright. I guess... Bone charm. Rock lines. Nobody here. I think I overdid it a little bit with the mouse sensitivity. Let's try 30. Let's just pretend I'm role-playing by closing the cupboards again. Rock lines and a bone charm. Acrobat. Climbing speed is slightly faster, sure. Do we have only... oh no. Gain health when inflicting sword damage or assassinating enemies. You deal greater damage with your sword, but your sword attacks are slower. No, since I'm usually horrible at aiming, I'd rather have lots of small hits with less damage than one very strong hit, because it means if I miss, you know, like out of a 10-second sword fight, if I miss 50% with slow, strong hits, then I miss much more than if it's lots of small hits. Because I just get many more stabs in. Your voltaic shots inflict more damage. Yeah, we don't really want those yet. Can we craft them? No. We don't. We haven't learned bone charm crafting yet, apparently. It's a lot of these buildings that you get into feel surprisingly, I don't really want to say empty, but dilapidated, I guess, which, you know, is intentional from the pattern, but I mean, like, so much stuff is just being stored somewhere. I mean, that's useful, you know, like having a second dentist chair seems to make sense for a dentist, maybe. Or when one broke, they'll keep the old one for a moment until it can be taken away, you know? That all kind of makes sense. And also it means, you know, asset reuse. They've had to make the dentist's chair anyway. This way they can use it in 2 places. I wonder where we are now. Ah, we're now behind.
Oh, now that's a relief. Don't know what I ate to deserve that.
Jesus. That reminds me, give me a split second. I don't have a watch right now. Alright. Because, still don't have the big watch, the taskbar watch, I mean, in Windows 11. But luckily, I have a phone with a big clock. Chair stream, chair hype. Oh, back already. Yeah. Okay, so he will probably spot us, so not sure we should go out there. So let's go upstairs again. Go back out again, but at least we've got some loot in here. And a bone charm, you know, so that seems nice. I have to say, the way they changed Billy's abilities is quite a nice difference in difficulty and also in flexibility. Like, you see, it's more vague variations between what did we have between Rat Walk and Blink and Possession and Void Vision. It's kind of, they've combined a bunch of the abilities into a new one, and you kind of use it differently. But it's not a lot harder to use. Where was the street sweeper? I should have marked him, I guess. Anyway, so the abilities... I guess he's here now. So that was probably his location where we would have gotten out. Right in front of the Red Camellia. But we don't really want to go there yet. Here is the black market. Ah. That looks good. Not sure what that over there is.
Marvelous. I'm game if you are.
Oh, is he kind of a living statue?
We should talk to the magistrate.
Someone
See if she
else's
can
time.
help.
Well, anyway, so I like the difference in abilities, but I think I would have been annoyed having to learn these abilities.
Let's organize an outing.
Oh, there's another...
I've seen the roads these places are built on. I've seen them under mud in the riverbeds, under the stone in the streets. It will all shudder wrath.
Rothwild whale meat. Yeah, I guess that's the factory we blew up, right? Something over there seems slightly flooded. And that's where we were. There's not even a gate there. What's this? Report all theft.
You bet.
Oh. Should I guess we can try out our ability.
Welcome, welcome. Feel free to look around.
Just looking around.
Trouble sleeping again last night. Maybe I ought to try one of those sleeping tinctures. They can be kind of pricey.
Is there anything? Oh. I guess some money we can steal. But the door back there is locked. Okay. Now we're ourselves. Oh. So where does she keep the basement key? I love these envelopes with the closing string. It's such a nice old-fashioned design. Oh, why is there a coin in the mouth of a bird? has to be keys somewhere. I don't think she has the key to her own basement. Annoying.
I've got to get back to... Huh?
Oops. Who was that and where? Who saw us? Ah, this guy saw us. Anyone else here? Okay.
Why would he say that? Sure, he knows how to talk with the boss. Anyway, spittle. I'm not the one who did the kissing.
Okay, it feels like those buildings there. Oh, there's another hollow, I guess is what they're called now. Oh, and apparently there's a bone charm.
All the old boundaries are falling apart. Between the living and the dead, the real and the forgotten. She watches them crumble.
Not even the dead get any rest in Karnaca.
Regraving disrespects the deceased and shames the living. We know not the needs of the dead. Learn about Administrator Jacoby's campaign to repeal the Reappropriation of Abandoned Burials and Gravesites Act at a public gathering in Colibron Plaza. What was that for? The reprehensible murder of whom? Empress Jessamine? Wait, now we're blamed for killing Jessamine? Those are weird. Where is... Ah, here's a bone charm. There's an eyeless, and there's an eyeless. So that's why we might want to get into the building. Can we get up there? Oh, nope. That didn't go the way I wanted.
Then she'll leave him. I can wait.
Now get...
I'm dry.
No.
Really go for a whiskey or something.
Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
Ooh, didn't think that would work. I still have that feeling in my head. Don't do a second one. Oh, but we're through the gate now without. So if we snuck through here, we could have
It's not my job to clean up.
done whatever they said. In the tutorial. Without actually having to masquerade as someone else.
What ox do tonight? Starving.
Let's see if there's anything over there. Like an entrance or something.
What's the holdup? I was supposed to interview Sean Yun hours ago, but it's already noon, and he's a no-show. The Boreal Songbird is sure living up to his reputation as a diva.
Tell you, Yun's not receiving guests since the incident with that journalist from the Karnaka Gazette.
What incident?
Don't you read the headlines?
Okay, so we know now why he's locked in. But we also know the knock to get us in anyway, I guess. Now, if I only remembered who Shan Young was. Is he the guy? Is he the leader of the Eyeless? Or who was he again? Why did we want to see him? Spectre Club. Okay, let's see where this place is. It definitely looks as if we haven't looted it yet.
Someone is asking for trouble over there.
Hello? Anybody?
It was coming from here.
Don't make me search
Let's
the
see.
whole place. I don't have time for that.
Okay, we were a little loud. Ooh. Okay, we could have just gone across up here. Good to know. This is dangerous when you teleport back into your body. There's this moment where I almost, you know, press the forward key or something. So I might fall off here. So I don't know who got alerted by this, but I didn't see them. The indicators in this new mode still take me a little to get used to. Karma, 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 karma. from a camellia. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Yep, that's where we came from. So we could have just zipped through here. I like all these alternate paths.
Quest for new boots or what? A sock. One useless sock.
Let's go back up here. Oh, that looks suspiciously like my skiff. Okay, let's see. I don't think... Well, we haven't really checked out what's here. No, nothing really. Brosenard taxidermy. Right. Okay, so this...
What would you say to some unusual gossip over dinner?
Delightful. Oh.
All right. Wait, where did the... Ah, here. There's the black market. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty. Hi, rats. Oh, right, we can talk with rats, can't we? Wait. The rats went away. Would feel really bad to be stealing from a homeless person if this wasn't, you know, a game where it's all this stuff here.
I told her it was the wrong type of oil, but they don't want to listen to me. Next time I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Oh. just a worker. That's another guard. So of course the question here is, are we supposed to take back our skiff, or will somebody give it to us and tell us, by the way, it's parked behind the house? With you? No. Thanks for the skiff. Okay, let's do a quick save here. Here's your skiff back, safe and sound at the waterlock, just like I promised. Ruiz got his fancy fish eggs to the Lord, so we made good coin this run. You'll get your cut next time we meet up. And don't worry, I had the oil levels checked and the throttle fixed by Lieutenant Dunbar, so everything is exactly where it should be. Alright.
Another day like yesterday, and I think I'll give it up.
Mission clue. You can leave the Upper Syria district using the skiff in the canal. City Administrator Ivan Jacobi plans to deliver a political speech to the citizens of Upper Syria tonight. He is currently rehearsing in Calibron Plaza.
For good.
Okay, and why do we want the minister?
Another day like that. The reason I did it, well, I can't really tell you right now, but stick around. Eventually, you'll find out.
Okay, so I guess we're going to risk a little excursion. Okay, that's cool. So the Dunbar guy, where did we have it? Laura Maps, I think. Yeah. Lieutenant Dunbar. So the guy who made the Visual Fix website about all the boats is named Dunbar. So this is probably a reference to him, a little shout out. That's neat. Okay, thanks Andy. That's a nice detail. So I think I'm not supposed to use that yet. So let's try to sneak around a little. get... we can get here, though. That's
Another
good
black
enough.
market sign? These rat holes spring up faster than we can shut them down.
All these black
Ah,
signs do is
this
make
guy's painting over the black market logo. So the question is this black market even open anymore? Or will this be a tarp? So it's probably downstairs here.
I've been alert. And he says, yeah, but this time I really mean it.
Whoops. Can we somehow...
seized right up. I told him to let it warm up first, but well, can't say I didn't warn him.
It's a bit difficult to get down there without falling for several feet.
A bottle of pear soda.
Well, I guess here goes nothing. I hope it won't hurt. No. I guess we lost a few pixels.
Knock, set heat hardwood, soft plaster, stone, acid, a path, rooms of delicious sea scent, fish flesh, a feast for us. Soon. First, we knock. Breathing in vain, scent of blood from us, dripping jaws close. Closer, scared, scatter. Witches chase us. Clever fingers grasp, claw, clasp, bind books with their skins.
Okay, we've done that or heard that before.
If
I
that
guess
was lunch, then I'm a filthy bloodfly, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
If that was lunch, you're a filthy bloodfly. Okay. Kidnap the bartender. Reward 550. The bartender at the Spectre Club is a lying, heartless snake and needs to be taught a lesson. I'm going to bury him in my garden with the sunflowers. Let him think about his mistakes for a day or two. If you want to make some easy coins, stash him in the crate I left on the rooftops near the Red Camellia. Aha. So we can get all these. I'm kind of... I'm not really super eager to do these side quests. But on the other hand, I guess we should do them. Show tutorial? At any time you can review list of contracts from your journal. You can activate the markers on targets and some additional hints are provided in the description. If you succeed a contract, you will be rewarded with a good amount of coin and sometimes by a bone charm. Alright, I guess... Okay, I guess we can do them in our journal, so they'll just show up now. Report all theft. We will pass the savings along to you.
Serve at discretion. Take a look around.
Let's see what upgrades we
The
can.
exquisite quality of the items offered.
More bone charm slots, more mines, more grenades, more ammo, silent running. We have 584. And we can get the magnification here. Armor, you're less visible in poorly lit areas. There's a bunch of stuff we would want there. I'll take gun reload speed, electrical bursts. Yeah, we need all these coins from these missions. Allows the use of mundane items as... Oh, wow. That almost sounds so useful, I might just get them immediately. Grenade, hyperbaric. I don't know what these
I miss
do
my
really.
old cigar shop. The smell of tobacco. I had to sell the business because of the smugglers. Couldn't keep up.
Metal shell. Okay, yeah. All of this looks... Salvage mines. 3 used spring razors and or hook mines can be salvaged to make a brand new hook mine. That would also be nice. So I guess let's invest in silent running. That will short term probably help us the most.
Real well made.
Cost 140.
At least I'm in a good district now.
70.
And someday I'll open a proper shop on Rakeza Avenue.
Bone charm 350. Is that a rune? Rapid displacement. Use displace without making a marker. Semblance can be used to briefly blind enemies in combat. Take significantly less damage. Your movement speed is reduced. Targets marked with foresight have reduced health. Only one target at a time can be marked with foresight. Okay, I guess...
Farewell, and do think of us again.
I guess the stuff we want is not available. Oh, if we wanted to break in, we would need some sort of code.
Nice to see you again.
This shirt reeks. I've got to get a spare uniform.
Alright, so now we know why this club is there. I want to read this poster. It's probably the same we had, but alright, let's see. Displace marker. Cancel foresight. Hello? Oh. And now we can displace up there. Yes. So that's how you do it without taking damage, I guess.
So if I have two, and I give him one, I still got me one. But then if I eat it, no, if he eats it, then what?
Oh, I guess that's a carriage crash. Derailed. Kinda wish I had possession now, that I could just jump into him now and look at the scene.
I'm bored.
Damn it. I need to pee.
Does he have anything interesting there? I hope the other guy didn't see me. Okay, that didn't get me much. And I should have set a marker, I think. Well, I guess I can set it now. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, wait. At least I got some arrows.
Lives, 1,000 choices, all converged on one wounded body, one wounded mind.
Just have to finish my shift, then I can go home, put my feet up.
Okay, line of sight was the issue. Of course. So I still need line of sight to return.
It's gonna be awesome.
Not just to place it, but just windows counted as line of sight. Okay, that makes a little sense. Alright. I actually have no idea where I am on the map right now. Like where that club was that we saw earlier. Okay, Colibron Plaza is over there. So I guess we can go back here. Okay, yeah. Well, really done anything much. Collected stuff. Looted mostly. Ah, I think the club was over there.
That sounds lovely.
Should we take our guests out for mushroom gathering? Hmm?
Of course. Splendid idea.
I think someone was just about to notice me. Feels a bit like cheating to have a human statue like that in a game like this. Oh. There's another place to hang out in. I guess, with view of the club, where we need to abduct the barkeeper, we should take our first break. See you in a moment. Remember, get up, stretch, have something to drink, take care of your body, and yeah. See you in a little bit.